All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So, Aaron Rodgers just wrapped up his Pat McAfee interview here. And in this one, I wanted to just quickly recap it, talk about some of the main takeaways, some of the main points here about his future, right? Because obviously it's still wide open, it's still completely up in the air. But first things first, he did talk a little bit about the golf tournament and that the Raiders fans were the most vocal there about, him potentially playing on a new team. He touched on the 49ers situation where he said that he wasn't going to San Fran. Apparently that got blown out of context, right? I guess he was joking around with a buddy, and then that little video clip of just him saying, "I'm not going to San Francisco," started circulating around. So we look at the retirement stuff. Pat McAfee actually brought up Tom Brady, and he asked him if it was going to impact his decision at all, right? Sharing a stage with Brady, doing the Hall of Fame stuff, and then Rodgers actually brought up J.J. Watt as another guy that's going to be on the stage. But long story short, Rodgers basically said no, it has no impact on Rodgers' future. And retirement is still 100% on the table. Personally, I just don't see Rodgers walking away. He still can play at a really high level. I mean, the guy's still one of the best quarterbacks in the entire game. And plus, we factor in the financial side of it. I mean, he's owed so much money over the next couple of seasons. I just have a hard time seeing somebody like that step away, knowing that there's still so much good football left in the tank. But you never know. Again, with Rodgers, it's just completely up in the air. And he also touched on the report that came out, it was either yesterday or 2 days ago, about him going to the Raiders. I believe it was something to do with athletes first. According to Rodgers, it's not real. He doesn't know what his future holds. And if he doesn't know what his future holds, then nobody else really does. So the whole him going to the Raiders, that's confirmed, that's going to happen, is still up in the air. Could it happen? For sure. But again, according to Rodgers, at this point in time, Tuesday, February 7th here, still doesn't know. And then he talked a little bit about the Super Bowl, right? Eagles, Chiefs, the matchup, in that, after this week, so after the Super Bowl week here, he's going to, because it was he previously said on on another episode of the McAfee show that he was going to make his decision after the Super Bowl. He didn't want to make this week about him. He wanted to, let this week be about the Eagles and the Chiefs, obviously. But he said that after the Super Bowl, he's going to, I actually had to write this down. I want to get it right here. He said that he's going to do a darkness retreat for 4 days by himself, to where he's going to be sitting in a dark room and not leaving. He specified that he can leave if he wants to, but he's going to be doing this darkness retreat, self-isolation, and then the hope is after that he's going to have more clarity on what he wants to do moving forward. So again, my stance on Rodgers is this. I frankly, if he's the Jets quarterback, obviously it's a massive upgrade, right? Next season, I think you take Aaron Rodgers and you place him into this Jets lineup with new OC Nathaniel Hackett. I think it's a playoff squad. No doubt about it. Of course, there's some little things that you have to figure out: offensive line, safety, linebacker. But all in all, Aaron Rodgers, whether we're talking Raiders, we're talking Jets, we're talking Titans, that's a playoff team. Like, he's that good of a player. But I don't. And this has been my stance really since the beginning, I don't want the Jets to put all of their eggs into one basket here. There are multiple options out there with Derek Carr, with Jimmy Garoppolo. Those are probably my two top guys, right with Aaron Rodgers. And arguably, like, when I look at Derek Carr and I compare him to Aaron Rodgers, I know Rodgers is the better quarterback, but it's 1A, 1B. In my opinion, like, I don't see this monumental dip or monumental drop off between the two quarterbacks. So, Carr, Jimmy, Rodgers, I would be totally pumped with all three of those guys. But Carr and Rodgers definitely sit alone in the top tier here. I just don't want the Jets to put all of their eggs in the Rodgers basket, because if he does retire, if he does come to Green Bay and say, you know what, I want to give it one last go, I want to stick with you guys for at least 1-2 seasons, and it's the summertime, right? It's the end of spring, and he's making that decision, and Jimmy Garoppolo is signed elsewhere. Derek Carr is now on the wherever, Saints, Panthers, And, the Jets are now looking at guys like, essentially at that point in time, veteran quarterbacks that didn't get a contract with another team. And then it's like, man, what did the Jets do? This is an organization with so much pressure on them. They have to nail this position. They have to get it figured out. So it's going to be interesting. Again, I just wanted to quickly highlight some of the main takeaways here. Nothing new. Still, everything is up in the air with Rodgers. So yeah, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. As always, go Jets.